Hey everybody, this your man Type coming to you with another true spook story. Now before I begin, let me ask that you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share me with your friends and family. If you think it's not robbery, go ahead and share me. Now these stories too damn good for you guys to be keeping them to yourself. Now, if you want to hear the complete version of this story, how about you going over there to my Patreon channel? The link is in the description below. This right here, sign up so you can get full access to these miraculous, true, very spooky, very funny, very entertaining, very educational stories. So without further ado, let's jump into it. This story is going to take place in Orlando, Florida, but in the downtown Orlando area of Orlando, Florida. For the people that's the residents of Orlando, that would be Gore Street, Westmoreland, Paramount, Robinson, Polk Street, McQuill, everybody in that area, Grand Street. So it's going to be downtown Orlando. We here in Orlando, we call it town. We call it in town. So this story going to take place in town. Well, there was so back when I was about 6, 7 years old, 8, 9 years old. I'm gonna say about 8 or 9. I want to be very accurate with this thing, y'all. There was this guy. He was an artist. Everybody knew this guy. He was an artist. He would take bottles and paper and scraps of wood and shit he would find on the trash pile, and he would put it together, and he would make art, and then he would just go to the corner and sell the art for like $3, $4, $5. The older people in the community, they patronized him, but as young kids, we didn't give a damn about no art. Like little sculptures out of tires and shit, old tires, and he would paint them different colors, for the ladies in the apartments, in the little duplexes and shit off Jefferson Street to put their plants in and things like that. So he was just a local little artist, almost like a dumb man. But almost like a little cherry brain fella. Everybody just said, okay, well, that's just Terry. He okay. So, nobody really thought about Terry. He was just what we call a cherry brain back in the day. So, Terry used to be real cool with the kids though. Terry was real cool with the kids and the young men in the neighborhood. So by Terry being cool, he would always like go to the grocery store, Winn Dixie, that type of stuff, and he would buy like sodas and cookies and candies and treats. And as he was doing his art, he would have us come over to the crib, and he'd be like, "Y'all going in there?" I'm gonna try to talk like him. Y'all going on in there in that refrigerator and get y'all what y'all want. Like, go on in there now. Y'all go in there looking that cool and get what y'all want. And we'll be like, thank you, Mr. Terry. And he's like, no problem. No, thank y'all. And so we'll go in there and we'll get a root beer soda, Coca-Cola, whatever he had in there, some candy. And, he just had his front door open, sometimes back door open. And we'll walk in there. He just, as long as we asked him, he didn't care. He just was a nice neighborhood man, an artist. You know, wasn't nothing. But everybody knew Terry was sweet. He liked boys. He liked men. I ain't gonna say he liked boys, he liked men. Everybody knew he lived an alternative lifestyle. So, my mama and grandmama used to be like, oh, Terry a sissy, right? And I'm like, yeah. I say, I know he kind of gay and shit, mama. I say, well, I ain't heard. I say, he gay, mama. And grandma like, yeah, that Terry, boy, he's sweet as sugar. He a sissy. And no, I would, okay, yeah, cool. I say he ain't never tried us or nothing. I say he don't come off as that. That's just his thing. Because back in the day, gay men they was in the closet. They had mannerisms, but they were still all intents and purposes, still in the closet. They didn't just flaunt it like that. But Terry was a little different, y'all. And I want y'all to remember that he used to let us get snacks and shit out of his house and didn't care. So y'all keep it right there now. So, Terry used to flaunt heels, but he was more sophisticated flaunting it. I know he was an artist in the middle of the hood, working with scrap, garbage, and trash. He used to walk around with an umbrella, like the Pink Panther, like them British people. Every Sunday he'll put on a suit and he would have his tie like a British person. wear their ties, not like we wear our ties here in the States. He would, have the ties. He would put on his little hat and with the little Spanx and stuff like that. Stacy Adams shoes. He would fly. He'd dress up and he'd just walk up and down, Orange Blossom Trail, Westmoreland, Gulf Street, twirling his umbrella on his arm. And that was his Sunday thing. He would get dressed and he would walk up. Now, whether he would troll it for puss, I don't know. Whether he would troll it for cock, I don't know. I ain't finna get in the man's business like that. Well, but we knew he was funny as hell, and he would be walking up the road, chilling, hanging. So one day, Terry had an idea that he asked Grandmama. He said, "Can your grandson walk with me to Gore Street Supermarket?" And Grandma looked at him, and Grandma said, "I ain't got no problem with that." So Grandma called. It was out of me and Robert. So Grandma called me. She said, "Hey, tight baby, walk with Terry up here to the store, help him carry back some of his groceries." I said, "Yes, ma'am. I ain't got no problem with that." So as I'm walking with Terry, you know, to go over there and go to the store, and this is when we was over there, Westmoreland Avenue, Jefferson Street, in that area, in them duplexes over there. So it wasn't no long walk, but it wasn't no short walk either. So, we going over there. I got a little bag in my hand to put some stuff in there. Grandma had told me to, pick up some backer for her. So, I'm walking with him, and he was just talking to me about life and school, and you make good grades, you can grow up and be successful. Typical kid talk. You can grow up there to be successful, and you can do this and you can do that. And yes, sir, yes, sir. And he's still all feminine man with his umbrella twirling around. Then he opened the umbrella because it got hot, and he would hold the umbrella over my head and kept me in the shade. He did what he did. He ain't never tried us like sexually or nothing. So he wasn't no predator. He just, he just was out of his time. In today's world, he would be out of his time because he was classy with his shit. As we walking up there to the Winn-Dixie over there off of Gulf Street, he put the umbrella over my head, kept me in the shade. So we get up there by the 7-Eleven, right at the corner, right before we get ready to cross OBT to go over there to the Gulf Street Supermarket, which was like Winn-Dixie at the time. He hands me the umbrella. He say, "Stay right here and don't move." I say, "Okay." So I'm hanging out there with the, umbrella. So he turns and he walks inside the 7-Eleven, and he get me a root beer soda. He say, "I know you're hot. I want you to drink this root beer." I'm like, "Okay." So I'm grateful he done got me a root beer, right? So I get the root beer and I'm drinking. He say, "Take your time and drink it, enjoy it. We got time, but you ain't got to rush. I ain't gonna take it from you." So, I'm like, cool. So now I'm drinking the root beer, all nice and cool. The brown bottle, the dad's. So we walk on across the street and I'm taking my time. He being real nice to me, just letting everything just go down. I mean, I'm like, man, he treat me better than mama. He treat me, I'm like getting a road trip, man. Yeah, I got to hang out with Mr. Terry some more. He treats me good. So my thing was, Mr. Terry couldn't do no damn wrong. So every time, I go over there, once I get to, and I'm a little fat ass kid, I get to go in the refrigerator, get what I want. If anytime we get to walk to the store with him to help him with his groceries, he'll ask for me, and I'm drinking out of the bottle, like he'll buy me candy and sweets and root beer soda. And I'm like, yeah, this is a life. Now, when I got done with the bottle, I was about to throw the bottle away. I'm about to just throw it in the trash or bust it on the ground or something. Kids, we do shit. He said, because I finna drop the bottle, in the grass on the sidewalk. And that's the first time I seen him lose his cool. He scuffled. He scuffled to go get the bottle. I say, "Hey, everything all right?" He like, "Don't throw away your bottle. Always save them, save them. Say, always put them in this bag right here. Keep it for me." I say, "Okay, okay." So he got me another root beer on the walk home. So I knew this time not to throw it away. And I'm just going to, make sure after I get through with the root beer, give him the bottle. That went on for days, man. I mean, for a long time. I knew that we had bottles to bring it to him. He had told all the kids in the neighborhood, "Hey, if y'all buy y'all a Coca-Cola, all the children now, y'all buy y'all a Coca-Cola, just bring the bottles to me and put them right here. I'm gonna break them up and make art out of them. And we knew him to be an artist, so we thought, okay, cool, that'll be something good. But we happened, Terry out. Uh, and again, Terry had no cars, very, not flamboyant, very sophisticated gay man, carry an umbrella, dress up, and he would do his shopping every Sunday. And he would ask for the neighborhood kids. Sometime I got them, sometime I won't. So, grandmama at this time, she working hard and she doing other stuff. And, I'm back over there with my mama. So one day I didn't come to grandma's house for the weekend. I stayed at home with my mama. So Terry come over there and he asked grandma, he's like, hey, what type? And grandma said, oh, he didn't come over here. What's going on? What's wrong? Did he do something wrong? And Terry like, no, it was Sunday. I wanted to walk to the store with me. He's such a good helper. And grandma said, well, he ain't here. How about you take one of the other ones? And he was like, who? And he say, okay, Robert here. His mama always drop him off. He said, okay, then bring Robert with him. So, cousin Robert go with him. And they walking up there. And this is just what cousin Robert told me after the fact. Say they walking up there and Terry kept on like complimenting Robert on his muscle structure and how like well built he was gonna be, telling him he gonna be a well built man when he grow up and to exercise and do football. He was giving him some health tips. He never gave me health tips. I was a little fat kid. Robert always had the muscle tone and the cuts and all that shit. We were 4 days apart. Well, Robert like he just he just cool. He bought Robert all kind of cookies and cakes and root beer soda. And Robert said he told him to save the bottle, same thing. So the next week, me and Robert over there again. So now it's out of who gonna go to the store with Terry, because we all chomping at the bit, because we gonna get root beer soda, we gonna get treats and shit. And again, Terry treated us good. So now Terry come, we fighting over Terry. We like, hey man, no, I'm going with him. No, nigga, you went with him last week, man. You always get to go with him. We tossing hands. We done got in the fight in the room. So then Terry said, well, I want to take Robert. He said, I'll let Robert go. Robert carry more groceries. He said, Tyke, I'll bring your soda back. And I'm sad. I'm like, okay. And I'm my fat ass sitting up there crying and shit, right? So when Cuz come back, Cuz was carrying like a trash bag full of bottles that he had picked up off the side of the road for Terry. Terry put in the work and made him pick up bottles or shit off the side of the road. So I'm like, whoa, Terry really put in the work. So grandma come out there and say, what you did to my grandbaby? And he was like, oh no, I make that art of gun you. I just had him pick, I just say since I was with him, since he was with me, he could help me pick up some of these bottles. And we drag all these bottles back to the house. He's like, you made my grandson drag these bottles in the hot sun, nigga? Who the fuck you think you is? He ain't your slave. So now grandma getting on Terry's ass for working us. Did he ever do that to you, Tyke? I say, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. He just told me don't throw the bottles away, and the bottles I drunk. He told me to keep them and put them in a bag. So grandma say, what you doing with all them bottles? You making art, huh? Let me see the art you're making. So grandma goes over there to the house and knock on the door and everything. And, he was reluctant to let her in, but eventually he let her in. So the art Terry was doing, he was like breaking up the glass, the brown bottles, and sometimes green, sometimes white bottles, and he would make silhouettes of people in the neighborhood, drug dealers, women, and young boys or kids, little girls. I mean, so it wasn't like he had a special type that he was doing, but he would just, that's how he was doing it. Grandma thought that was nice. So now she don't see nothing nefarious going on with it. So she like, oh, you so talented. And so everybody start, grandma say, well, let me take one to work. And, I'm going to see, can I sell it at my job for you and see if they liking it. You can get some money. And he like,